What's up, guys? We're here to do the 95 draft podcast. We've been doing it since the 91 draft, 92 draft, I mean, with the Shaq draft, one of the 95 draft here. It was pretty, compared to the 94 draft, it was definitely a lot deeper than this one.
That's not saying a whole lot.
Yeah, I wasn't saying a lot. This one was at least decent. There were some players here I could recognize a little bit, even at the 17th, 18th range a little bit.
I actually remember playing with these guys in a video game, so this counts.
There wasn't too many all-stars though in this draft, though. That was the one thing. Like they were just kind of solid.
5.
There's it was more than like the last draft for sure, but it wasn't tremendous. So, but there's definitely a few Hall of Famers in here, maybe. So,
one,
maybe two eventually, but yeah, we're probably right. Just probably one for sure.
Who would you say the second one is?
Well, who? Say that again?
Who's the second one?
I was thinking maybe at some point like Rasheed Wallace could possibly get in, but I doubt it. What the thing that struck me about this draft kind of going into it was how the Kevin Garnett era, 95, he kind of started that movement of high school players, that second wave kind of high school players.
I mean, in our lifetime, it was the first wave.
Yeah.
We don't remember Moses.
No, we don't remember those guys coming in, but he kind of started that, and Kobe was like the next year, right? And then a few other guys after that. Like there was guys that came out that were bumps that weren't even that good, but they were still coming out. I remember there was like a huge stretch there for like 2 years where like guys were coming out and like playing like 1 or 2 years and then getting out.
And then there was the Euro movement where Nick Skidisfili was top-notch prospect.
Oh gosh, and Darius Miles, guys like that. I don't know. Like,
I remember playing NBA Live, and they made Darius Miles like literally I don't know how do I word this. He couldn't make a layup like in the game, like even an open layup. I was like, why is he so bad in this video game? It doesn't like he's an NBA player still. They like made him.
What's going on with your camera, my friend? You're making me sick.
It's like he's swimming or something.
It was like Darius Miles' layup. It was all over the place.
I was getting excited. I was talking with my hands.
Yeah, I know. I remember he couldn't make a layup.
Don't show us those hands.
I can't wait till we do the David Noel draft. That's all I know for video gaming. Or Pat Garrity draft. Hey, I thought this draft was kind of interesting before we get into the picks was that the best players, the first 2 picks were decent, but then like I felt like the best careers were after that anyway. So Ron McGetty in the top.
Oh, after the first, yeah.
I mean, McDyess was good, obviously, but he had a good long career, but not a number 2 necessarily pick.
He made an All NBA team, I think.
Yeah, he did. All right, who wants the first pick?
I think I had it last week. So.
All right, Tyler, you want the first pick?
You haven't had it since Shaq, so I think it's.
All right, why don't you take the first pick this time? We all know where you're going with this one.
I'll take the big ticket.
Pretty obvious.
Anything is possible.
What did you remember? What did you like about him the most? Like, what do you remember about him?
He just was he was like the first guy who could dribble that was like that I remember that was like 7 feet tall. And he he wasn't like a guard. He didn't play that way, but he could like push the ball on the fast break. And
I kind of remember he had the reputation of he couldn't win. But remember he had that reputation. He kind of had like these weird stretches though, where he wasn't like aggressive enough shooting. Remember, he was like always wanting to make passes and stuff like that. So like he was like a really great defender, but I've always felt like he was somewhat flawed offensively just because of his own wanting to play such team basketball at times.
Yeah,
like if he was like more just that mindset, but I don't think he could do that. And I think he just was so like he put up so much energy on defense.
Yeah, I just thought he was a beast, man. Like when I watched him.
I'm not saying he wasn't a beast. I'm just trying to remember his whole career too and how he thought about him.
I wouldn't want to play against him. He's one of those guys that like, hey, this guy's on the court.
Well, I mean, he did
15-time All-Star.
He had a pretty bad, terrible. I shouldn't say terrible, but not the best supporting cast. I mean, Wally Zerbiak
at the beginning.
Wally Zerbiak should be your second best player.
And the Western Conference was pretty good then with Shaq. And they had some good big guys. Duncan was on those teams. There was Marbury. Yeah, that all worked out well. Casey, 12-time all-defensive player. That's just ridiculous.
I think him and Kobe are tied for the most.
And I mean, 12-time. That's crazy. That's a 15-time All-Star. All right, so Kevin Garnett with the first pick. That's a pretty obvious pick there for sure.
And
What do you
people
think his
forget
best
too.
season is scoring wise? Casey, if you had to guess, what do you think his best season scoring is? Career. One season. Most he averaged.
I know for his career he averaged 17, but
Now, I just want to know for one season, what do you think? His
20,
biggest?
21.
Okay, 21.
24 and a
Tyler,
half.
all right, and then Tyler, you're the closest, 24.2. Next one, highest rebounding. I thought this was the next one. Highest rebounding season. It was 4 times. What?
14.6.
13.6. Close.
14.
No, close. Casey?
I'd say 15 or 16.
Almost 13.9. That's a crazy season. He scored 24 points, 13.9 rebounds. That was the year he won the MVP.
Those were both career highs.
Yeah.
And he probably averaged close to 5 assists.
His career high, though, it's funny. His career high in points was only 42. Not only, but
Yeah, no, he wasn't like, you're right. He probably nowadays would probably shoot closer to like 2 or 3 threes a game too, maybe even more.
he'd be like a way better Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, well, we all definitely want him on our team. So,
A lot more intense.
Tyler, good first pick.
I didn't blow it.
All right, I'll get a chance to blow it. All right, so I get the second pick here. I think the guy I'm going to go with is, and he was kind of one of my favorite players in that era on that draft. I think I'm going to go with Michael Finley in this draft. I don't know what it is I liked about him. I always liked that he could shoot. He was pretty consistent. I really liked him on those Phoenix teams early, and then they ended up trading him in that Jason Kidd trade. And I really liked him when he got on those Don Nelson teams with Nowinski.
And he was a Wisconsin Badger, too.
Yeah, I just liked his competitiveness. And he was a sneaky good dunker and like a good free throw shooter and pretty clutch at times. And I mean, he wasn't like, I think he made a few. I thought he made a few big playoff shots. 2-time All-Star.
I get things a little bit.
I'm going with Michael Finley as the second pick. I mean, he had a couple seasons. He had a couple years there where he averaged for like 5 straight years 20 points or more. So I don't know. He put up the stats too. So I'm going.
A note on that pick. Isn't it weird how the Suns somehow like? Wouldn't you say Finley and Joe Johnson are pretty similar?
Yeah, you kind of would compare them.
Like,
yeah, Johnson's a little bit more isolated.
By the Suns,
yeah.
like,
And people kind of forget he actually played for the Spurs, too.
Yeah, at the end there. Dallas team.
Everyone finishes their career on the Spurs.
Seems like it.
Trying to win a championship before they go.
Case, you got third pick. Who you going with?
Don't lie.
This one was kind of a tough one when I thought about it. I didn't know if you guys would to me, but I'm going to go with Rasheed Wallace. You know, product of North Carolina, 4-time All-Star, 03-04 champion, 95-96 all-rookie. Wouldn't really think of him too much as like a defensive player, but, man, when you got him in the block, man, he was – I just loved his tenacity, just a little – he just always had like a knack for just being at the right place at the right time on certain teams. But
except for when Robert always shot it.
He was a 4-time All-Star, so you could say he was a better pick in terms of career-wise than my Finley pick. So,
I think he's.
I think he played on winning teams. Like,
he seemed like the perfect Detroit player, like the missing link to a team like that. You know what I mean? Instead of like maybe growing a team around them, because he was kind of a little volatile, to say the least. I don't know if you could like build your best team around him.
His maturation, especially from the Blazers, they had that tough loss to the Lakers. So who knows if they got past the Lakers, what would have happened? But I mean,
how many threes a game do you think he'd be shooting now?
Oh,
he'd be shooting like probably like 10.
He'd be like the Antoine Walker. He'd have green lights and just shoot like 12.
He had a sneaky good post game though.
He was great on the block.
He was
great.
He
had the longest arms in the NBA.
Yes.
And he shot with the arms all the way up. He didn't like waste any height.
But I still just can't think of him for the dumbest play that we saw in that Spurs Pistons rewatch where he doubles in the corner.
The way he carries himself just looks lazy.
Exactly. And I remember him for that Hawks one day. No, I'm just kidding.
Even Jackson thought they had a chance.
Yes, they did. All right, Casey. So Wallace got a good pick. I kind of thought that's who you were going to go with, but yeah.
I feel like I'm
Rasheed
already
Wallace.
dominating this draft, but
Already dominating. All
Your
right.
self-confidence never lacks.
It never lacks. We like that confidence. Tyler,
not
you
with
got.
this hair.
You're intelligent sometimes.
You're so shiny with that sunburn.
You look like Miss Grant's forehead.
Could cook some breakfast on my forehead right now.
Yes, you could. You could. The big red machine. Kane. All right, Tyler, who you got?
I guess I'll take the Alabama.
Oh, man.
Paul Bear.
I'll take Antonio.
Big dice Dan.
Yeah.
Dan.
I got 2 power forwards.
Yeah, well, the reason McDice means a little bit to me is because I went through all my cards about a month ago and I realized that
I remember you were obsessed with that card.
I had like 25 McDice cards, like perfectly conditioned because of like.
I remember. I do remember that. I was like, why did you like Antonio McDice card so much? Really hoping for that.
I had a ton of them. He's kind of one of those players where you feel like if he stayed healthy, that like kind of mid part of his career, he probably borderline, not a Hall of Famer, but
he was always productive when he played.
It'd be a little bit more productive than like his numbers really dropped off.
I think he would have been a Hall of Famer if he didn't blow out his knee.
I don't know. I mean, he was only a one-time All-Star before that, so it's hard for me to think he would be a Hall of Famer. But he probably would have been maybe. I could see him being maybe.
Where
in that
did he play other
category.
than Denver and Detroit?
Well, he went to Denver, then he had that 1 year in Phoenix, then he gets traded back to Denver.
Oh, I forgot about Phoenix.
And then he doesn't get hurt for the first 6 years in his career, and then he has that injury and basically doesn't really play well for about 5 years. He kind of goes Grant Hill there for a little bit, and then he picks it back up with Detroit, like we saw, and then he ends up with you know who.
Spurs.
Yes,
everyone.
He kind of had that Greg Oden face. He looked older than he was.
Yes, he does have that Greg Oden face, especially on NBA reference. He looks like he's just committed a crime and he got a mugshot.
I mean, he was all NBA team though, so he wasn't no slouch.
No, he wasn't. That 1 year he was a beast. Okay, so his numbers, his best year, this is what he put up. He was 26, so going into his prime before he got hurt. 20 points, 2 assists, 12 rebounds. So, good numbers. Obviously, and he shot basically 50% from the field. So.
What was Garnett's assist that year he won it? Was it around 5?
Huh? Yeah. Let me look. Let's see what was Garnett around that year that he won the MVP.
It has to be close to 5.
Because he didn't quite have the Weber type reputation as I remember at that point, right? Because he didn't quite have to play with the system probably to do that. But.
It was more, but he still was. But he had the reputation of not shooting, so he was doing something.
Chase, do you have Garnett's numbers there?
I just have his career, which was 17 a game, 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
3 assists, a little over 3 assists for his career.
I'd bet he got in the 5s.
Trying to find it right now. Okay, so MVP year he was 03-04. He got 5 assists a year, or 5 assists that year.
5 what? Just flat?
Huh? Yeah, the year before that he got 6.
Yeah,
so
he wasn't a few years.
He had over 5 assists 7 times.
Because I remember that was like a stat he had, like 2012 and 5 or something, and like no one does that.
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, you were doing that. Okay, so Tyler, who'd you go with again? McDice.
We rolled the dice on Antonio.
All right, I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with the biggest risk in this draft in terms of a team
Damon
player.
Stoudemire?
And we're gonna go with Jerry Stackhouse in this draft. So I'm gonna go with Stackhouse. He put up the points. He never played. He seemed like one of those players that was never played on like a great winning team. He seemed like he always wanted to be the guy. He did put up some pretty good seasons in Detroit, though. He scored 29 points a year. One time in Detroit, was a 2-time All-Star there. So he had his best years in Detroit, it seemed like. I kind of forgot about his 2 years in Washington. It was funny when he spoke out about not wanting to play with Jordan. I was like, I could see him not fitting with Jordan.
He's like Rasheed Wallace has playing with Jordan.
Yeah. Stackhouse did play an incredible amount of years in the league. See, he played 10, 13, 15, 18 years, and he did not end up with the Spurs, incredibly. So that is or
We
something
did
to be
end up with
noteworthy.
Dallas, though.
You got to give him a hand for that.
He did that with Dallas. You're right. All right, so I
It's
have my backcourt set with my wings, Finley and Stackhouse. You guys.
You remember how he
Oh.
shot free throws? It looked like he was taking a dump.
Yes. Hey, underrated dunk contest performance that your Vince did too.
I was watching Jordan dunk contest performances,
Yeah.
and Jerome Kersey was like in every one of them.
Was he good?
Yeah, I mean, they were all not that good. They were all just basic dunks, basically, but they,
Did more power, right?
yeah.
All right, so I
Jordan
got-
was the only one who did anything really I mean, Dominique did windmills.
I like Dominique's windmills. Give me those all day. Those are nice.
They are just, I mean, I can't hate on them, but they're not like flashy.
They're not graceful though. Clyde probably would be okay, I would think. Okay, so you got
Before I go, I just thought it was interesting that Stackhouse and Rasheed were on the same team on Carolina, and they both went 2-3. Thought that was kind of interesting.
they went 3-4 actually.
3-4.
That's what I found.
Oh,
I
excuse me.
remember
yeah,
I was
3-4.
in Foot Locker when Rasheed Wallace got drafted. I was with Darren.
Yeah, I
In the
kind of remember
locker?
that too, Tyler. And I kind of remember
There's a
thinking
Foot
like, why
Locker in
did,
the mall.
I kind of
I
remember
don't know
thinking
why, because I don't ever remember going to Foot Locker with Darren.
I kind of remember thinking like, why wouldn't
I thought
those
you
guys
said the
go?
locker room. It's like,
I remember wondering why those guys didn't go earlier because I was like, who the heck is Joe Smith? The
Who?
Warriors with a great pick. All right, okay, so you got
Who's, gosh darn it, when you said the locker room, who's the pedophile from Penn State?
Sandusky.
Yeah.
Sandusky.
Like, he said Dusky.
We don't want Sandusky out. We don't want any part of Sandusky. Okay, so you
You
got
can rot
6
in
picks.
hell.
Yes, you can.
I'm
Demon
gonna
Stoudemire?
Yeah, I'm going with Damon.
What's his nickname again?
Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse is a great nickname. Doesn't he have the tattoo, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
And where is he from college, Tyler?
The U. University of Arizona.
Arizona. But
Point
yeah,
guard U. Point guard U.
95, 96, rookie of the year. Had a solid career. 13
19
points.
points that first year, dang.
Yeah, I still think of him as a Raptor more than anyone else, even though most people will think of Vince.
He played 2.5 years.
But I don't know, it just stuck in my head.
He was their first ever pick. So the Grizzlies picked 6, their first ever pick, and they went with Big Country. And then 7th was Stoudemire.
What'd you call him? What's his nickname, though? What's short for Big Country?
Big Cunt. Big Cunt.
Big cunt. Ryan Johnson.
Shout
They're
out.
doppelgangers.
We got to get Brian on here for a quick little segment one of these times. Introduce America.
He'd be better than Nick.
Oh, he'd be a lot better. I think at times. I think he would be. I think you would have a good time with Brian.
Mhm.
I
Everyone
just have
has
to ask
good
him what
time.
was worse, the Niners.
We got to
losing
get
or
him.
Kobe
I think
dying?
Brian would be great with when we get some Niners topics going, some live Niners. We should get him watching a game with us. That's what we
Oh my God! Throws a chair at the ceiling.
have a few teddies.
I texted Brian. I said, "What was worse this year? Kobe died or the Niners losing the Super Bowl?" His response: "Oh, the Niners was much worse."
Brian's not the most sensitive man in the world. That's proven right there.
Back on topic a little bit, but no,
that's
I
fun.
thought Damon had a good solid career. 13 points a game, 6 assists, and which I thought was kind of interesting.
He's on those Blazers teams too.
Yeah, I looked at one of his games and I was like, damn, he shot 21 3-pointers in one game.
Oh my God! Who is he? Is he Salim
What year
Stoudemire?
was that?
He went 8 for 21, but he did have 54 points and 19 assists in that game.
Was that his rookie year?
For a record, what was he doing?
I was like, man, 8 for 21.
He must have had tried to go for 50 or something.
Well, he did end up with 54. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
but
That's
I was
funny.
like, man, 21 3. That's a lot.
My
Well,
pick.
Casey's got the Portland guys back together. Stoudemire and Wallace. That's a good
Yep.
deal. Okay, so that worked. It worked out well. Okay in Portland.
Is it
Got
my
some
pick?
goodness.
Yep, Tyler's pick.
All right, I
Let's
guess we'll take another big for Def and take Theo.
You mean the O?
The big,
Theo Rattler.
he had no O, but
I always was frustrated watching Theo. I'd always be like, catch the ball, damn it.
what do you like the poor man's Dikembe Mutombo?
He was pretty solid though, but
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like he's the type of big man that he would struggle, and I don't know if he can play now because he defensively might, but he can't. I don't know. He probably could. He'd play, but he would struggle with some coaches. Do you think they would play him very much?
I don't know if he'd play, but he'd be on a team.
In
He'd be on a
NBA
team.
Live, all I know is the only button I hit with him was triangle, which was block.
I block buttons with Theo.
And pass button when he got a rebound.
Yeah, pass. Hit an X and triangle. No squares, no circles.
2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time block champion. One year he
Block
averaged.
party.
Sometimes the years he won, he got 3.7, 3.2, 3.6. So that's pretty impressive.
What college did he go to?
One year he got 4.4, but didn't win it. So somebody must have had tore it up that
Probably
year.
Mutombo. Did he follow Mutombo everywhere? He went to Atlanta. Mutombo was in Atlanta. Then he went to Philly, and Mutombo was in Philly.
He started out in Detroit, went to Philly, then went to Atlanta, then went to Portland, Boston.
Oh, he was in
Minnesota.
Philly before Atlanta?
Yeah.
Oh,
Minnesota.
So Mutombo followed him.
Yes. Yes. Minnesota, Detroit ends up with the Spurs.
Everyone ends up.
They
Spurs
do.
coming up.
I said
The
that last
Spurs do it
podcast.
again. The Spurs do it again. The Spurs do it again. All
They're
right.
they're like the retirement center for the NBA.
I know, man. It's crazy how that's working.
What happens when you win?
All right. I'm stuck with a lot of interesting
Don't take
choices here.
loss, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a surprise pick here. I'm going to go with a guy I like watching, Brent Berry on the Sonics.
I almost took him. I had him listed above Theo, but I was like, I don't want Brent Berry.
So I'm going to go with the guard-oriented team. Finley, Stackhouse, Brent Berry. I got to get a couple bigs in here somewhere, but that's what I'm going to go with. I like Brent's game with the Sonics. That's when I enjoyed watching him the most, was on the Sonics there. He was pretty skilled at times. I'm not saying he's a great player, but I thought he was a pretty solid player and somebody that was pretty reliable. And they were fun to watch. I really enjoyed watching those Sonics teams at times with him. Like I know I was ripping on him at times for being maybe not compared to Gary Payton, but overall those teams were fun to watch. I really enjoyed Tyler Sealy at the moment. It's just beautiful.
Why is it even on my? If I didn't talk.
I just thought it was funny that you were looking at you, that all of a sudden. So, anyways, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Brett Berry. Case.
The ceiling is the roof.
Who you going with?
The roof is on fire. Kurt Thomas.
Jason Caffey. Great Warrior.
Greg Ostertag.
Greg, no. I was actually going to go with a little surprise pick and go with Alan Henderson.
Alan Henderson. Wow, that is a surprise pick.
You can't pick smart guy's dad.
Prodigy of Indiana. So, I don't know.
Oh, he played for Bobby Knight. No, they do.
97, 98 most improved player.
Yeah, a decent career, 9 points, 3 rebounds. I mean, just a solid role player. Nothing special.
All right, Tyler, what team? Who did he play for?
Alan Henderson.
Main team. I know it without even looking it up.
He wasn't a fun young gentleman.
No, because of video games, I can think of him. He was a starter.
I can't think of him. He must be black. His name's Henderson.
He started every game with this team in 99, 2000, all 82 games. So he was.
Well, okay. You limited it to 30 teams.
Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, Atlanta. Where's the party at?
He did not end up with the Spurs, unfortunately. For our game.
How many years did he play?
I think he played. What did he play? 12 there. Look like 12 years. So
he played for the Hawks.
Yeah, Hawks and a few other teams at the end there.
All
right, Tyler, back to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 2 more picks each. Tyler, who you got so far, T? Who you got so far? Yeah.
I got 3 bigs: Garnett, McDice, and Theo.
It's gonna be a tough team for my Finley, Stackhouse, and
I got some studs defensive players down there.
We're gonna be shooting threes on you. Who you got? Bryant Reeves. We go with another big.
Yeah.
Play the 80s.
Ed O'Bannon.
Who's O'Bannon? I don't need Joe Smith. I already have that.
Ed O'Bannon, Cherokee Parks.
He's got a cart. He's got a Jeep.
I guess. Oh man.
Daniel Marshall.
West and just take Eric Snow.
Eric Snow, I like it. Theo and Eric Snow, go bringing everybody.
I mean, I have a bunch of big guys that are above him. Not a bunch, but
going with the Snow Patrol.
Do you think he's the best player though?
I'm going strictly defense.
We're not going to score any points from the outside at all. When I think of Eric Snow, I kind of just think of like I don't know, like nothing exciting to watch. He was not any player I ever enjoyed watching on TV.
I picture him as AI's therapist that AI wouldn't listen to.
That's probably the best way to say.
It's like, let's make smart plays. Okay, go run up the court.
That was probably the best thing for Allen Iverson because he's like, Eric Snow's not going to shoot. And he was just
exactly. He knew his role.
I remember me and Adam went to a Sixers game the year after they won the championship case.
What's that?
I said me and Adam went to a game, the Warriors-Sixers game, after they won the championship. It sat way at the top. And we were, like, laughing so hard because, like, Eric Snow was getting, like, the biggest
I think we saw the
warm-up.
Sixers when –
Were we there one time, too?
For your bachelor party.
Yeah, we might have saw him there with that one, too. But this is when Eric Snow and Iverson were on the team.
Is that when Brian splurged on the tickets?
No, that was a different era. That was –
everyone paid for their own ticket.
That was the Thaddeus Young.
When we sat next to the American flag at the highest point.
But anyways, I thought that was kind of funny.
Everyone was staring at us because we were by the flag.
Yeah, he did.
I told him just to get the cheapest tickets, and he did.
He literally followed through. You tell Brian to do something, he will do it.
All right, I'm up. I'm gonna go with Joe Smith. I think
it's a good pick.
I'm gonna go Joe Smith, even though he kind of
just on potential.
Kind of didn't really
great
work
call
out with the first pick overall. He was still kind of a solid player. Ended up with a 12-year career.
Did he end on the Spurs?
Joe Smith, excuse me, he had a 16-year career.
Averaged
10 points.
Minnesota.
Was all rookie. He played on a ton of teams. He did not end up on the Spurs, unfortunately. His second year at the Warriors was his best season. He had 18 points, 8 rebounds, only 2 assists. So he looked like he had it going kind of a little bit there. Then the Warriors end up trading him, or he was a free agent, gets to the Phillies, and then from there to Minnesota. And then they have that weird deal with Minnesota where like he signs that contract or something like that. And then remember they had to lose all those draft picks because they signed them illegally or something like that. Kevin McHale.
Yeah.
They had that weird Minnesota deal. So I'm going with Joe Smith. I finally have a big, kind of a weak one, but that's who I'm going with. Case, 2 more picks. You got your 4th pick here.
Well, I'm going to go with my boy Corliss Williamson.
The Razorback, Corliss.
Yeah, Arkansas. Not bad. 11 points per game, 3 rebounds. Nothing solid. I mean, nothing terrible, but, good role player. No, I mean,
a lot of diarrhea.
Good role player for the Kings. So.
Could you imagine a GM saying that, drafting a guy on the draft night? Well, nothing solid.
Nothing solid.
A lot of diarrhea.
They should have said that about Dudley when they drafted him. There's nothing solid about this guy. We just had to make the damn pick.
I know he played for the Kings. He played for Detroit too, right, dude?
Yeah, he played. I think he actually had his best years with Detroit. And I think he ended with the Kings. I feel like, or he came back with the Kings. Yeah, he was with the Kings, went to Toronto, and then was with Detroit for a few years there, and then came back to Sacramento to finish it up. His best year, surprisingly, he averaged 17 points. That kind of surprises me. But I guess somebody has to score.
Got myself a couple bigs and a couple guards. So Tyler's team we might play a 60-50 game.
Did we talk about Richard Jefferson on this podcast? Or was that off camera or off?
That was on the other podcast.
Okay, never mind. My 5th pick. Oh man, we got some studs. It's either Travis Best or Bobby Sura.
No, come on. Or how about Bryant Reeves or Fred Hoiberg?
I have 3 centers.
Or my favorite, Andrew DeClerc.
Great Celtic.
Cherokee Parks.
I'm going to go with Travis Best. No, I'm going to go with Bob Sura just for shits and giggles.
Just for
he had bleached hair. He's one of the few players that participated in a 3-point contest and a dunk contest the same year. We're going with Bob Sura.
Going with some offense finally, huh? He's going to be your top scorer.
Hey, he'll go for those triple doubles. He'll give more heart than anyone for those.
That is true.
Have you guys seen that when he throws it off the backboard like on his own hoop?
Yeah.
All right. How many points a year? He played on the Warriors.
Oh my God!
3 seasons.
What was his free throw percentage?
Okay, well,
I remember this sucking.
Overall, he ended up at a 68% for his career.
What about on the Warriors?
71%.
For all 3 years?
And he averaged 9.5 points on the Warriors. His best years were with Houston, where he played 1 season.
With Houston? I didn't even know he was on Houston.
The year after he played with Detroit, he ended up with Houston his final year. All right, so Bob.
And that was his best year, his last year?
No, I was just joking because in terms of his points, like averaging on a team, because he played 1 year, so he averages.
I bet when he went out to the club, he did well at least.
Yeah, he probably did with those blonde tips.
Went to the fish and chips.
The fish and chips. All right, so Tyler, give me your team to finish out with here.
My team?
Yeah, Theo.
We got Erica Snow at the point.
Okay.
Bob at 2.
Oh, it's a rough backcourt. On NBA 2K Live, you would not be
Garnett
good
at the
that.
3, McDyess at the 4, and the big lack of O.
The front line is terrific. That backcourt is scary, horrible.
It's pathetic.
You're dumping that ball.
Travis Best, I could have got some burst points.
Yeah, sure.
You're dumping that ball inside all day.
All right,
we'll play 24 seconds every possession.
Tyler's backcourt does not have a career average of 10 points. So, all right. My final pick here.
Finley? Yours is pretty good. Never mind.
So I got Stackhouse, Finley, and Brett Berry as my guards with Joe Smith on the front line.
Brett Berry's right around 10 points.
Brett, yes, career-wise, yeah, you're right.
What do you mean, career-wise? That's what we're talking about.
We are, but I'd still take Brett's best years over Bob Sura, wouldn't you?
I would too, absolutely. The only thing that's in common is they're white.
Yes. This is a tough one, actually, right here. I need a big guy. We don't have very many good ones left. I think the obvious
choice. Ostertagger, big cunt.
I think Kurt Thomas is the guy you got to go with. He played for free forever. He definitely played up.
He always looked like he was crying.
He did.
Yeah,
he had a few actually kind of random good seasons with the Knicks, I felt like. But I felt like it's because he was bad.
That's how I remember him on the Knicks.
He had a couple sneaky good years, I kind of feel like, with the Suns, and he had like that one decent season off the bench.
He played on the Suns. Yeah, he was good on the Suns.
05 and 06 and 06 and 07. And then, of course, he ends up with the Spurs and a few other teams along the way. But he's my other big man. So I think right now I'm looking pretty good, guys. I got Finley, Stackhouse, Barry, Joe Smith, and Kurt Thomas. That's not bad. All right, who do
you have a bunch of mentally weak players.
Michael Finley is not mentally weak. Maybe the rest of them. All right. Another 4. Get the ball to Michael Finley in the last minute. Stackhouse, keep your mouth shut.
I got Bob Sura's athleticism on him. He was in a dunk contest.
After Casey makes his pick, we'll go matchups with our team real quick before we get out of here. All right, Case. No, you know what I mean? Just
I said to take a Theo if we were doing this.
All right. Who you got, Case?
I'm taking Jason Cathy.
There's not
much
I
left.
love it.
I got to take
Greg Ostertag, those beautiful screens.
I got to take a shooting guard. But Damon Stoudemire, Jason Caffey.
Jason Caffey,
he's a power forward.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the most versatile out of the guys left.
Oh, Greg, very versatile.
How about Travis Bash? Ed O'Bannon.
He did a lot for that NCAA.
I'd rather have some size. He's not a shooting guard, but at least he can move a little bit.
Fred Hoiberg has to feel disrespected that you're going with a power forward at shooting guard over him.
I can't take Fred. After
have you seen Fred Hoiberg coach? I would pick him.
Don't you want to have each guy has to have a white player on our team, and you would be the.
Haven't you guys watched Highly Questionable? I can't go with Fred Hoiberg after that.
All right, Jason Caffey, as you all know, played on the Warriors after Gary St. Jean gave him a horrible contract after the Bulls won those championships.
He was bringing a winning mentality.
Well, he brought stuff that he brought 10 points the first year, and then he brought an astounding 8 the following year, and then a beautiful 12 the next year. So, and he played.
Way to step up your game, Jason. You get better with age.
Yeah, and he played a total of 135 games in 3 years. Pretty pathetic.
Name Fred Hoiberg stats for me real quick.
All right, let's see if Fred had a better. I gotta think Fred had some good.
He coached at Iowa State.
Yeah, did you get Fred's coaching?
I think he did.
And he got coronavirus at one point too, so you get that along with him. Let's see, what was Fred's points total here? Anybody want to guess where Fred went to college? I'll give you pretend $10 if you get it.
Iowa State.
That's a good guess. Good question.
I'll say Maryland.
Huh?
Maryland.
Tyler's right. Iowa State. Good guess. All right, Casey. His
wasn't a guess. It was an educated guess.
Is an educated guess. He did not. You're right. Caffey had better years. He did have 2 years where he averaged 9 points a year. That is not very good.
Bobby Sura-esque.
All right. So real quick over matchups. Real quick. Case, give me your team now. Real quick.
Damon Stoudemire. At the 2, we have Jason Caffey.
Stackhouse is licking his chat.
Corliss Williamson, Alan Henderson, and Rasheed Wallace.
Casey, if you had to play with that team in 2K, you would get murdered. I'm sorry, that was horrible.
This draft is terrible.
I know. You had the third pick. You had a rough one. That was the rough one. The third pick's tough. The third pick's tough.
Especially in this draft. This is like the worst draft ever.
You got big Allen.
Anyways.
Chasing Kathy.
You got a lot of beat out there.
I love it. All right, Tyler, give me your team again one more time.
We're posting Tyler's team up all day on point guard.
Rasheed Wallace to get ejected every game.
I'm posting up crap on my team.
Jason
That's my strength of my team is my inside defense.
Jason Caffey's posting up Bob Sura all day.
We'll do a nice little switch.
Tyler, you had Theo, Kevin Garnett.
I got Erica Snow, Bobby Sura, Kevin Garnett, Antonio McDyess, and the lack of those.
I think I win this one, boys. I think I win this one. Yeah. Finley Stackhouse, Joe Smith, Kurt Thomas, Brett Berry. I think I'm going to go with big winner here.
Easily. My team fucking sucks. I wouldn't even play
my team would dominate.
Maybe Tyler's team
would. Street ball game.
Yeah, but Joe Smith and Kurt Thomas could put up a fight down there.
They're just as bad as Bob Sura and –
no, because Kurt Thomas and Theo are probably, right around. They could cross each other on a good day.
Theo's 3-time defensive player of the year. Put some respect on that name.
Well, if I got Kurt a good day.
Kurt Thomas is the same level. Get out of here.
Joe Smith could. Joe Smith could stand next to that.
Oh, they're the same level.
Stackhouse would enjoy Bobby Sura a little bit. That's about it. But maybe that'd be my advantage.
Hey, Bobby gives great A effort.
That's funny. All right,
Whoever
guys, that was good.
290 Warriors would be drafted in the same draft, Caffey and Bob Sura.
Yeah, I got to say, this was a good draft. This was fun doing this one with you guys. The 96 draft, though.
That's a barn. It's a good one.
It's a good one. So I think that'll be interesting to see who gets the first pick in that one. I think it probably falls on me this time, actually.
Yeah,
so we'll see
I go third.
I think so. You still should get a good player in there. So
this was the worst draft.
I might get the nasty boy.
Casey, this draft will be remembered for Alan Henderson, and that's what I'm going to remember this one.
And Miss Grant Zumbers.
Corliss Williamson.
Corliss.
Hey, you have a lot of energy players, Casey.
Yes, you do.
We're going to play the full 48.
That's what I expect from my guards.
God,
we're down by 25. We'll cut it to 50 at the end.
Could you imagine if we did one bench player each? Could you imagine doing one more pick each, one bench player? Holy shit! Who would even pick? Reeves and
I would be taking Travis Best. So I mean, I might improve.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right, guys, that was fun. I'll see you guys at the next draft. All right, peace.
Peace.